You pour so much time, energy, effort practicing in the hopes you make it to this moment, can stand on this stage and play for a national championship. Here we go, Northwestern and Boston College. And it's the Eagles in maroon and gold that win the opening draw. Andrea Reynolds trying to settle things down, lost her goggles in the first whistle of the day.
Very physical play. We're going to see a card on the first possession for Boston College. This is going to go against Northwestern. Checks towards the face, knocks the goggles down of Andrea Reynolds.
And that's one of their leading defenders, Kendall Halpern, for the Northwestern Wildcats. 2 yellow cards in a game and you're disqualified, so she's got to be careful.
So 15 seconds into a national championship game, Northwestern already going woman down here defensively. And BC will move to the power play.
So BC will be up a player for up to 2 minutes. It's a releasable on a Boston College score.
This is an Eagles offense that has great balance. 5 players who have scored more than 40 goals this season. Number 1, Rachel Clark leads the way. Has the ball here, 76 goals to her name this season. And then McKenna Davis, number 3 in maroon. She's your quarterback, leads the nation in assists, but also not afraid to go to goal herself. Davis has it here.
You just want to work the ball around. It's unusual to get a yellow card so early in the game. But a big advantage for Boston College. We'll see a foul for off ball. This will set them behind the cage on the dot. Still 49 seconds left in the shot clock. BC was looking to really dominate possession time and slow it down a bit. Things will probably change since they are a player up for their opening possession.
There's Cassidy Weeks storming. Didn't get a clean look. Sammy White, who was terrific in this title game a year ago, actually the most valuable player for Northwestern when they beat Boston College on this very field in 2023, and that is a great woman down defensive effort by Northwestern. 40 more seconds to kill on the power play.
Couldn't script it better defensively, and that's a huge boost. You can hear the crowd going wild to stop it, and it looks like Sammy White got a piece of that shot.
So right away we can see Izzy Scane is being face guarded by Shea Baker, number 14 in maroon, opting to try to deny her the ball.
A lot of teams this season have tried to take out Scane. She scored more goals than any other player in the history of this sport.
I think they're actually trying to face guard Erin Kuykendall as well. So number 27 in white, number 2 in white, both being tightly marked, basically trying to deny them the ball. And we'll see teams operate differently when someone's being face guarded. Sometimes they opt to remove them from the play to open up spacing. Other times they use them more as a pick.
And those two love to run the pick game on the elbow together.
You can see Scane and Kuykendall so good in the 2-man game throughout their careers. Now on the field in a Wildcats uniform for the final time today, win or lose. Here's Lindsey Frank, who was superb in the semifinal, 3 goals to her name. Kuykendall gets her first touch in attack mode, draws the foul.
Oftentimes you can utilize the picks to create mismatches as well, to shake up those defenders who are trying to find their matchup.
Erin Kuykendall is really dominant coming off the 8-meter.
Winds up, passes it off. Shea Dolce to the rescue. She had 12 saves in the semifinal for Boston College. Picks up right where she left off to deny the opening goal.
Dolce has been on a tear in the postseason, averaging 57% in her last 2 games. Anything above 50 is a strong statistic for a goalkeeper.
Here's Madison Taylor on the move. High heat, too much on it.
That's where she was really dangerous in the semifinal win for Northwestern. BC will need to send a slide against her to get a stick-on-stick.
Kuykendall trying to split the double team. And another card comes out, so both teams in the opening few minutes here have seen a yellow card. This goes against Becky Braundorf. the officials clearly setting the tone in this national championship game.
But I like when they set the tone early and when they call it even, and they're doing just that. Any overly aggressive physical foul, check to the head, cross-check into the body will be a yellow card. A player gets 2 yellow cards. If they get 2 to their individual name, they're removed from the rest of the game. So you have to play conservative.
Kuykendall blows it by Dolce to open the scoring. She passed off the previous free position. This one rear back and fired at home. And it's Northwestern on the board first in this national championship game.
We saw Kuykendall throw the no-look pass on the last 8 meters, showing off her deception. But this time, she showcases her ability to take a rip from the outside. Extending her hand so far off her body allows her to get so much heat behind that ball. And she's not just the feeder. She's a dual threat for this Northwestern offense.
Makes her so tough to guard because she can be so deceptive. 5'5" from Spencerport, New York. Last year, she was one of the 5 final Tewaaraton finalists, and the 4th straight season leading the team in assists. She makes everyone better around her. Struggled a little bit in the semifinal game. Only had 1 goal and 1 assist, but the defense, at times kind of took her out of her rhythm. So great for her to get the scoring started off. And now the penalty is now released. That first yellow card against Boston College is releasable. Once a team gets 4 yellow cards, it becomes an unreleasable penalty.
Great that our officials are mic'd up all afternoon, which gives us a great listen into the draw control circle. And Charlotte, you used to take the draw in your playing days. It's like a quarterback making audibles at the line of scrimmage, right?
Absolutely. So much goes into the communication part. And you mentioned the audibles. Some teams try to use communication, get teams to jump and false start, which would award possession to the other team, but also communicating with the wing players on the circle, trying to place them where they think the ball might end up.
There's Lindsey Frank trying to spin her way free, whizzes that one wide. This is a Northwestern offense, Sheehan, that has proven unstoppable over the course of this season. They average 17 goals per game, but BC's defense, they held a high-powered Syracuse offense to just 7 goals in the semifinals, so they're capable.
And that's got to give this BC defense a lot of confidence. Erin Kuykendall once again draws the foul. This time it's shooting space, and that's when a defender gets in the path to goal. It's a safety call. Only equipment that the women are wearing are goggles. She's on the outside hash mark. Not a great angle, however, she can penetrate in. We also know how dangerous she is feeding.
Feeds this one, and Dylan Amonte finishes on the inside.
Kuykendall involved in the first 2 scores. And Dylan Amonte, the niece of head coach Kelly Amani Hiller, gets the score. Just a heads-up play. If Erin Kuykendall has the ball in her stick, the surrounding players are looking to get into position to score because she will thread the needle. Perfect passing and a beautiful finish for Dylan Amonte.
Amonte's game has evolved so much as that off-ball presence. So many eyes are on Izzy Scane and Erin Kuykendall, often drawing a lot of help defense. And Dylan Amonte knows exactly where to be on the inside when the defense goes.
And Charlotte, I think that's huge for this Northwestern offense. You've got the headliners, Madison Taylor, who's a Tewaaraton finalist, Izzy Scane, and Erin Kuykendall, who we talked about, but the 4th leading scorer is Dylan Amonte. So if those 2 players are being face guarded, then the surrounding offensive players can step up and score.
Head coach Kelly Amani Hiller was pretty open about talking about her niece, Dylan Amonte, and said, without her, our attack is not as dynamic. She brings that attention on the attack, and they have 7 threats on the offensive end, which makes them so difficult to scout.
It's every coach's wish to have 7 people that can score. And it sounds like everyone should have that, but a lot of teams don't. But you need everyone to be a threat.
Northwestern traditionally runs a zone defense. They have different options that we've seen. High pressure, low pressure, opting to sink back inside that 12-meter arc with that moderate to low pressure, but they're shutting off the facilitator and the feeder for Boston College, number 3, McKenna Davis, trying to deny her the ball.
Davis is all-time assist leader for Boston College, so smart move to deny her the ball in her stick.
.30 seconds left to shoot. Trying to get Rachel Clark. Can't connect, and that's who you want She leads the Eagles with 76 goals on the year and a miscue there.
And you know what? Rachel Clark, she's a transfer from Virginia. She was one of the hottest transfers in the transfer portal. Has had a great season, excellent semifinal game, but this is her first Final Four. So she had an excellent semifinal game, but could be a little bit of jitters. Thinking about what you're going to do next after you catch. So an unforced turnover there that doesn't usually happen.
Good point, because even though this Boston College program has played on this stage 7 straight years, there's always somebody on the team, whether it's a freshman or a transfer, where this is your first national championship game.
ACC Defender of the Year, Sydney Scales, number 45 in maroon, often the conductor of the slides on that back line of defense.
Taylor, she'll make it pay! Madison Taylor makes it 3-0 Northwestern. A Tewaaraton finalist, which goes to the nation's best player in just her sophomore season, and she shows why on that goal.
Just an excellent take for Madison Taylor. They had too much room. They gave her way too much room. Boston College needs to shorten up those slides. She's wide open. This is where she's dangerous from, coming across the left. She does a great job of understanding where the pressure's coming from and when to release her shot. Beautiful finisher. And Northwestern, they're on a roll. Might be time for a Boston College timeout.
And Emerson Bolig, the midfielder for Northwestern, triggered that play, really being a threat from the perimeter up top. We've seen their midfield unit shine as of late. Lindsey Frank and Emerson Bolig.
And there's Northwestern's head coach, the Hall of Famer, Kelly Amonte-Hiller, making her 15th championship weekend appearance, most of any head coach. If she wins the game today, she'll have 9 national championships, which would pass her former head coach during her playing days, Cindy Timschel, for the most all time. And boy, does she have her team ready to play in this championship game. This has been an impressive start by Northwestern. Sydney Scales trying to win it back there, but ball out of bounds off the senior, so it'll stay Northwestern's way.
That's 2 All-American defenders exchanging back checks in Carly Mahoney and Sydney Scales, 2 of the best at their position.
Looks like Boston College has too many players on their defensive end. You can have 7 defenders, so this is going to be an issuance of a green card. So a lot of different colors in the game, different penalties. A green card is a 1-minute releasable penalty and is for 60 seconds. It is releasable on a score. And that was a new rule this year for if you're offsides on your defensive end, they'll be penalized with a green card. So Boston College, they were not able to convert on their first woman-up possession. We'll see if Northwestern can.
So a bad start for Boston College gets even worse here with the green cards, because Northwestern is going to go back on the power play here, already leading 3-0, and it's eerily similar to that national championship a year ago where Northwestern beat BC on this very field, and it all started with that first punch the Wildcats threw, got out to that 4-0 lead and really didn't look back.
And these 2 teams met in February, and it was similar in the first quarter as well. The Wildcats jumped out to an early lead in the first quarter, and Boston College was unable to claw back.
The good news for Boston College is we've seen them battle back, especially when you look at their Syracuse games in the regular season and in the conference tournament. They were down, they battled back. They know how to respond. This is what you prepare for, but this is not the ideal start.
And this is Izzy Scane's first touch of the game, and her team's already up 3-0, 27 in white, the nation's leading scorer. Erin Kuykendall's been brilliant, this is her 4th free position that she's drawn. The first 3 came in the opening 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
They draw her a shooting space violation. It didn't look like she was looking to shoot. You need to have the opportunity to shoot and be looking to shoot for that to be called. But regardless, on that same hash mark, we'll see if she looks to pass out of the whole possession, which could be a smart move with the power play. You do not have to shoot when you get an 8-meter free position shot. You can opt to hold possession.
Wildcats still have 30 seconds left on the power play. Ari Schumar, perfectly placed. Northwestern cashes in on the woman up. What a start for the Wildcats.
Mary Schumar, the transfer for Marquette, completes this lethal Northwestern offense. A subtle move to get topside, and the Cats are rolling.
A year ago, these same two teams, Northwestern and Boston College, met on this stage of the national championship game. It was Northwestern that jumped out to an early lead on the back of Madison Taylor and Izzy Scane, and they did not look back. The Wildcats left no doubt. They won convincingly, 18-6. And we were expecting a close, competitive game a year ago, similar to today. And yet it feels like it's almost a replay of last year in this first quarter so far, Charlotte, because Northwestern jumped out to that early lead and held it. How does Boston College punch back here and make sure this game doesn't get away like it did a year ago?
It starts with possession, gaining possessions and allowing the offense to really settle in, adjust to what the defense is presenting. Last year in that title game, Boston College only took 9 shots on cage, so they've got to produce more shooting opportunities.
Yeah, Northwestern doubled up on the shots and pretty much ruled every category. The Liberty for Northwestern and cage only had 3 Cs, but the fact of the matter was BC didn't get enough shots off.
Alternating possession on that draw, the ball did not go high enough above the heads of the draw takers.
Let's check in down with Dana Boyle on the sidelines, who was in the Boston College huddle.
I've been spending some time here in the huddle, Jay, but also on the sidelines of the Boston College Eagles. And their body language, nothing about it tells me they're out of this game, but Acacia Walker bringing them in on that timeout and said you have to have your head in the game. She doesn't feel like they're playing aggressive enough, that want to have the ball. And she said it really goes back to fundamentals. It's your 1v1s. It's containing them on the defensive end, and you got to get possession offensively if you want to score.
And Sydney Scales now guarding Izzy Scane. That's a defensive adjustment by Boston College.
Moving Shea Baker to Aaron Kuykendall, who has come out really hot in this game.
And Kuykendall has set the tone for Northwestern. There's no doubt about it, and the Wildcats a 4-0 lead. It's been one-way traffic, and Boston College has barely touched the ball.
They haven't really. The 2 turnovers for Boston College have been very costly. One area that Boston College needs to be concerned with is also yellow cards.
That hits off the pipe, and Shea Dolce can start the clear. That's the first break of this game for BC. Now, can they use it and capitalize on the offensive end?
They've got to have a clean possession here. Pipe is a goalie's best friend, especially when you can keep that into the crease. In that championship game last year, BC had 5 yellow cards, so they need the ball back. Northwestern with a 4-goal lead. They need to be calm and composed. BC has not had shots since the 13:42 mark, where I think that shot wasn't even on cage. It looked like Sammy White, the defender, made the stop as well.
So 8 full minutes of this first quarter without a shot for Boston College. They are desperate for a goal to find their footing in this national championship game.
When you play against a zone defense, you got to initiate hard.
And McKenna Davis drops the pass. These are uncharacteristic errors by this Eagles team. Both Davis and Clark, arguably the 2 best players for BC, have turned it over early.
Yeah, you know, this is just, I think, thinking too much right now. They've got to settle down. Belle Smith usually so great with the ball in her stick and can make those plays, whether it's offensively or defensively.
There's some championship nerves showing in the opening 10 minutes for Boston College. Northwestern a 4-0 lead, as we remind you tonight's Sunday night baseball matchup in the National League. Cubs and Cardinals, you don't want to miss it. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, right here on ESPN.
Good defense for Shea Baker.
What a fake pass by Aaron Kuykendall. Gets heads to turn with her flashy stick work.
You see a 3 seconds violation. So if you're new to the game, you're getting introduced to a lot of different rules. That's a foul in the defense when you're inside that 8-meter, that cone-shaped area, marked in blue. If you're in there for more than 3 seconds without guarding a player within an arm and a stick's length. So it sets up an 8-meter. Great look here.
And it's Lindsey Frank, who is a superstar in the semifinal. Misses that one high. Transfer from Richmond, who plays both field hockey and lacrosse. It's a quintessential Northwestern player. Kelly Amonte-Hiller, the head coach, loves those multi-sport athletes.
She was a star, Kelly Amonte-Hiller, soccer and lacrosse, so loves it in her athletes.
Taylor goes up top, and it's 5-0 Northwestern.
4 different goal scorers for this Northwestern team, and Madison Taylor gets 2 to her name. They're scoring in multiple different ways. You look at her numbers, and one of the reasons why she's one of the top 5 players that's been nominated for the Tewaaraton Trophy. She's completely isolated, and when she gets her hands free on the left-hand side, she's dangerous. This is something that everyone knows about Madison Taylor's game, and she gives credit to the surrounding offensive players because they occupy their defenders. They pull them away, so it makes it very tough to slide. Look at the extension of her arms, the little stutter step, face dodge back and forth. Beautiful job with the placement of the shot and the time and room.
And a question mark coming into today was Madison Taylor going to earn a slide from the defense? Oftentimes, a defense will pick who they're sliding to. People by the likes of Izzy Scane and Erin Kuykendall, but Madison Taylor is a threat to dance on the elbow.
When we saw a couple carbon copy goals like that in the semifinal game. So I think BC should make some adjustments and definitely slide to her. You got to get stick on stick. Great pickup for Belle Smith.
Belle Smith, 2-time ACC Midfielder of the Year, trying to will her team back into this game. An aggressive take there and draws the foul.
BC's lucky to get the foul called there because when the shot went wide, looked like Northwestern was going to come up with possession. Belle Smith was pushed, and this puts her up on the 8-meter.
Throughout her career, Belle Smith has shown up in big moments. Boy, does Boston College need a goal here from their senior. Best opportunity of the day. One-on-one with La Liberty, and she makes a save. Molly La Liberty, the 6th-year senior in goal for Northwestern.
You see the shot location there. It was stick side high, but La Liberty is a left-handed goalkeeper. So that's an adjustment to be made, specifically when in practice you're going up against right-handed goalkeepers every day. Got to take a little more patience to think and focus on where you're placing shots.
Here's Erin Kuykendall, shakes free, and scores! Erin Kuykendall. And usually it's the Izzy Scane train that sets the tone for Northwestern. Today it's Kuykendall who's been the conductor offensively. A 6-0 Wildcats lead. And Boston College takes a timeout after the Kuykendall goal.
Erin Kuykendall uses the subtle pick from Izzy Scane, refuses it, goes over the top, and she can let it fly on the run. When her hands are free, that ball is smoking towards that top corner. Gets so much torque behind her shots when her feet are planted, and when she's sweeping across the middle.
This Northwestern team, they're playing loose, they're having fun. BC needs to make some adjustments defensively, really send the slides earlier. They need to stop the one-on-ones.
Well, championship weekend continues, a Memorial Day tradition. The Division I Men's Lacrosse National Championship game on ESPN tomorrow. And it's 2 of the best programs in recent history, Maryland and Notre Dame. You do not want to miss it tomorrow, 1 Eastern from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Anish Shroff, Quint Kesnick, Paul Carcaterra with the call for ESPN. So Charlotte, Erin Kuykendall has set the tone for Northwestern in this national championship.
Kuykendall has showcased her dual threat ability, not only as a facilitator, she's got the vision and the flair to deceive a defense with her eyes and her body language, but she's showing her dodging ability today from up top. We've seen those two, Izzy Scane and Erin Kuykendall, run that pick game all season long, and you give her an inch and she will bury it.
Here's the scary part, Jan. Northwestern leads 6-0, and Izzy Scane has not attempted a shot.
It's really scary, and that shows you the dominance of this Northwestern offense. So many players that can score, and especially when you have stars like Izzy Scane, that's who you put your best defender on, and then it just makes the other players so much stronger. This team has been averaging 17 goals per game. And I love the aggression that Erin Kuykendall has started this game. You got to think there's a little bit fire there. Last year she was a top 5 finalist. This year she's not one of the final 5 standing. And obviously team goals are a lot more important than individual goals, but there's something to prove there, I think, and she's playing with the fire.
I am going to push you back to make you even. Yep, there. Good. Hold.
The setup of those sticks is so important in terms of ball placement by the referee. That allows centers to direct the ball, get underneath it. And you see the wing play from Sammy White. She has such blazing speed out of her first step to win that ground ball.
This is a hard foul. Usually when you hear those long whistles, could be a yellow card. We'll see if anything is issued. Doesn't look like a card is going to be called, but just a check into the body towards that head area can just be a whistle and resets the play.
Here's Izzy Scane working against Sydney Scales. Back to Kuykendall, who loses her footing, and a foul's called. Shea Baker not happy about it, the sophomore defender.
They're going to call her for a little bit of a shove and push.
When you slide as a defender, you've got to be careful to break down your feet and use your body, not your stick, to extend into the offensive player you are trying to recover to.
That's why a lot of basketball athletes are so good at playing defense, playing it with your feet. You can make some contact, but overly aggressive contact. Look at these isolation plays that Northwestern are making. The off-ball players cut through and give so much space.
Scane trying to win it back to herself. It does.
One of the parts of this Boston College defense that we've seen evolve over the course of the season is their second slides. They seem to slide on a string and anticipate where they need to go on the backside, not just with the on-ball pressure.
They are desperate for a stop, and they get it. Cassidy Weeks, the two-way midfielder, who's been terrific throughout her Eagles career, draws the foul.
And this is going to be a big news right now. A yellow card being awarded to Erin Kuykendall, and that was for that check in the body. So the ref's trying to really clean things up. So overly aggressive play, the cross checks in the body and arm. Erin Kuykendall will sit for up to 2 minutes. Watch the extension of the arms here in the body. Good call by the official. And that's it. When you're an offensive player and you get a yellow card for making a defensive play, you also have to rein your play when you're shooting, because if you shoot the ball and your stick made contact with a defender, or if the ball hits somebody, you'll get another yellow card. This is the largest deficit that Boston College has faced this entire season, being down to 6 goals to Northwestern.
How do you battle back, Charlotte?
It's about the shots on cage. You got to find opportunities on the inside, and you do that by dodging on the perimeter, getting a defense to spin, and then finding that next layer passing opportunity on the inside.
Here's McKenna Davis. Goes to goal. Now Liberty makes the stop. Big ground ball to keep possession for BC. But the officials say there was a foul, and it'll be Northwestern ball.
Looked like they're calling an illegal pick as they were approaching that ground ball. Not a blocking call, but an illegal pick. Similar to basketball, you got to have your feet set. You cannot slide into the body of the opposing team to try to screen them.
And Northwestern content with a 6-0 lead to just finish off the final 30 seconds of this first quarter, playing a woman down here against the Boston College power play.
Need to be careful here. Just make sure they don't foul in that midfield area to get a green card. Great job by Carly Mahoney splitting the double team.
Taylor swarmed at the end of the first quarter, wins it back. And Northwestern, you could not have scripted a better start for the Wildcats. Northwestern trying to go back-to-back national championships, and they're well on their way after the first quarter. The Lake Show in full effect in Cary, North Carolina. The Wildcats with that winning mentality, a 6-0 start at the end of one. Boston College facing their largest deficit of the season in the national championship game, down 6-0. Let's hear from Eagles head coach Acacia Walker moments ago with Dana Boyle.
Coach Walker, you addressed the lack of focus coming out of that last timeout. This is the largest deficit you've faced this season. How do you crawl back?
One play at a time. I think the draws are good. We're just a little ahead of ourselves. I think we have to stay out of these corners where they're trapping. And I think we have to be more aggressive on offense. They're playing a little bit on their heels. Good thing we have 3 quarters left. And then on defense, we have to be more aggressive. We're letting too many people out. We're not putting ball pressure on. Chip away, one at a time.
Thanks for the time. Thank you.
Well, Acacia Walker said it best. There's still 3 quarters to play, but at some point, Shan, you have to find your footing in this game, and the Eagles making a change in the draw control circle. In comes the sophomore Abby Harrod to try and combat Samantha Smith. You can't come back and win if you don't have the ball.
Then they need possession, and you got to convert. There's been some costly turnovers. BC with 4 turnovers. Northwestern's only had 1. And that's enabled Northwestern to have 11 shots compared to BC's 3. So the first quarter, Northwestern came out on fire. Multiple different people scoring, different people getting involved. BC looked a little bit shell-shocked, especially for a team that has so much Final Four experience. A bit surprising, and their championship experience, but there's 3 quarters left to go. BC usually averages 8.4 shots per quarter. Today, they've only had 3. And not great looks. They've got to adjust to what they've been shooting for against La Liberty.
And they're trying to shut off McKenna Davis, the facilitator of that Boston College offense. So you got to find other Dodgers to initiate the offense on the perimeter.
Well, the band is on the field. It's like Cal Stanford, which is a future great ACC rivalry, joining Boston College. The Eagles are on the power play to start the second quarter, so if you can win the draw, cash in these next 33 seconds, it could be a big spark in a national championship where you're down by 6.
Go, go.
Hold. Stay. Hold.
Love getting the insight into the draw huddle. When we talked to BC yesterday, especially because they were mic'd up on Friday night's game, they said we might have to change some of our calls. They might be apparent to be scouted now. So mix things up, but you basically want to alert those circle players where you think the ball is going to go and where they should position themselves. A huge win for BC.
And that's a unit that is scouted. It's treated like an offense or a defensive unit. You scout your opponent at the draw control circle, and you spend just as much time developing a game plan and making calls like we're hearing.
BC really lost the draw control battle against Syracuse 15-5 on Friday night. However, they won the ground ball battle. They came up with the extra possessions. They got some caused turnovers. So not imperative that you win. It certainly helps. But BC right now, they need possession and they need to build some momentum.
Back to even strength. Boston College looking for their first goal of this game. Here's the freshman Molly Driscoll dispossessed. Sammy White trying to take it away for Northwestern. Ball is still loose. White almost had it, lost her footing just as she went for the ground ball. The BC recovers.
If you played lacrosse a long time ago, you may remember that you weren't allowed to have a body ball and you were not allowed to kick it. You are allowed to do that now, so it's a great way to get the ball out of trouble towards your direction.
Emma Pinto off the pipe, inches away from the opening goal for the Eagles. And a timeout taken by Northwestern. Carly Mahoney scooped up the ground ball and was clearly under threat, so the Wildcats used their first timeout to preserve possession, leading by 6.
BC, they're finally getting some momentum, winning some of the draw controls and ground balls, but when they get it down their offensive end, Emma Lapinto's got a great look on cage. This one hits the pipe. Northwestern up 6-0.
We've got 2 great head coaches in our national championship game, and both of them share the fact that they took over programs that really didn't have much history and brought them to such great success. You see Kelly Montehiler, the 15 champ weekend appearances, 0 before she took the job. And of course, Acacia Walker, this is 7 straight national championship game appearances. The one thing that haunts Walker is only 1 NCAA title, and this game following a familiar script, whereas Kelly Amonte-Hiller is 8-1 in national championship games.
I mean, that's just an unbelievable statistic when you look at Kelly Amonte-Hiller and what she's done in this championship game. But as we all know, because we follow these teams all season long, it is so hard to get to this stage. It's so hard to win. And we thought these two teams would match up better. The national championship last year, Northwestern did dominate in convincing fashion. But the regular season meeting between these two teams, Northwestern won, but it was a much closer game.
Neck and neck in almost every statistical category, Sheehan. In that game, Northwestern's big three dominated with 12 of their 14 goals. Erin Kuykendall, Izzy Scane, and Madison Taylor, who we've seen so far in this game as well.
So we'll see how BC, they're looking more aggressive right now on this possession for Northwestern.
Scane being chased, trying to find Kuykendall. Kuykendall recovers well.
Early help defense to number 27 in white when she touches the ball, guarded by Sydney Scales. But those slides are coming quickly.
And they need to, because they were too slow. Especially the slide and the second slide. That's what Northwestern was beating BC on.
15 seconds to shoot. Northwestern 11 shots, 6 have found the back of the net. Still trying to dig this ground ball out. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. And this will be a shot clock violation. A nice defensive stand by the Eagles. Now can they generate something on the offensive end is the question.
It was a huge stop defensively. I think when you can have an offense that's not able to get a good look on cage, a big win. Now they need to clear this ball cleanly. Northwestern's got a great ride where they put the pressure on. Cassie Weeks wide open though in the midfield.
You just get the feeling, Sheehan, that one goal by Boston College, just to see the ball go in the back of the net, would do wonders for this team's confidence. Weeks trying to find it. La Liberty keeps it out somehow.
We've seen La Liberty for Northwestern make a save like that in her semifinal game against Florida. She almost used the net to propel her back outside. She uses her body. She has great quick reflexes.
Little unconventional style as well. Really explodes to the ball so hard that it almost throws her off balance. Such a great look with that goal cam.
Awesome look. She gets the turf. Not afraid to use her body. We saw some of the new bruises that she got coming out of the semifinal game. I like BC's pressure defensively. They seem to have amped it up a bit, being a bit more aggressive, and here this causes a turnover. Great job, tandem duo for Shea Dolce, the goalkeeper, and Sydney Scales coming up with that.
And that's been the identity of this unit all season, is that suffocating on-ball pressure that allows them to play aggressively behind that double team, that help defenses ready, sliding on a string when they're at their best.
They've released the face guard Northwestern right now for the moment. Looks like they're headed back into it, trying to deny number 3 in red the ball. I think they need to utilize her more. She's a great facilitator. Try to get the ball. You don't want to just focus just on her, but get her the ball, at least get her some touches.
Here's Rachel Clark. Goes inside behind the back. Emma Lapinto, and BC is on the board.
Almost an exact replica of her goal in the semifinal game versus Syracuse. All eyes are on the ball carrier, and Emma Lapinto sneaks underneath, right where she likes to operate on the crease. She knows that she doesn't have time to turn and shoot front side, showcasing her creativity on the doorstep with the behind the back shot. And it's the right play as she doesn't have an angle. Right there, Carly Mahoney, number 29, the defender for Northwestern, is sliding to her front side. So she one times it, BTB.
Lopinto, the transfer from Florida, she leads all juniors with 271 career points. Scored the first 2 goals to start the semifinals, scores the first goal for Boston College in this national championship as the Eagles try and chip away at what is now a 5-goal deficit.
One of those players, a junior, making her first Final Four. Coming from this Florida team, Florida, they made an appearance for their first Final Four since 2012. But BC happy to have Lopinto, and she's really grown into her role. Been such a great goal scorer, but seems to have gotten more comfortable as the season has gone on. Great around that crease area.
Oh, sorry, my bad, wrong side. Coming, Red. Hold it here. Thank you, White. Red, hold.
Great listening to the draw control circle between Smith and Herod. This will be Northwestern possession.
That communication is trying to move her circle girl to where she thinks that ball may end up. As a center, you want to direct the ball as much as possible. That is your goal. And once you feel like you have control of it, you can tell your teammate where to be and where to jump to.
We've seen a lot of great draw control takers do a self-draw, and that's when you pop it up in the air, win it to yourself. I think both these teams are trying to negate that and make it a circle play. Northwestern started this game strong, but no shots or goals in over 8 minutes. Another great defensive stop for Boston College.
Well, clearly, Boston College's defensive coordinator, Jen Kent, has made some adjustments on the defensive end. They are way more dialed in defensively. They've caused 3 straight turnovers to deny North Carolina's prolific offense. Now can they string some together on the offensive end? Through traffic, just enough on it. They call the foul first. I thought that ball might have gone in past La Liberty. And if it's a simultaneous whistle.
And I think they can still award the 8-meter if the foul affected the shot, even with the simultaneous whistle. So I think the Northwestern defense pleading that she got the shot off, this should be a change of possession. But she definitely was rattled.
Ryan Smith charges in. La Liberty makes the save.
La Liberty's been really strong. And we talked to her yesterday and we asked her if she's more nervous, and she said, I'm not nervous, I'm just excited. This is so great. This is her last run at things. Boston College being whistled for a green card, check across the body, and that's, again, one of the new rules. We've seen a couple green cards issued throughout this weekend, but if there's fouls in between the 230s and there's any physical foul, tripping, pushing the body in between the 230s, that's a green card. Some of the criticism with that has been that if you make that same play right over the restraining line, that would just be either a no call or a whistle. But now BC down a player for up to 60 seconds. Northwestern, they've got the luxury that they can be patient with this penalty. With a card, the shot clock gets reset. What an anticipation play by Sydney Scales.
Gutsy play by Scales. When you're woman down, you like to pack it in, try to protect the middle of that 8-meter, but she anticipates almost better than anybody.
And I think they're calling Boston College for a 3 seconds violation. And that's when that defender's in that 8-meter area without guarding a player. So now this is going to set Dylan Amonte up on the 8-meter.
Great angle for Amonte, one-on-one with Shea Dolce. This is out of it. And with Northwestern on the power play, that's not too uncommon.
Another 3 seconds violation.
When you're woman down again, You like to pack the middle and clog the inside, but you can't be in that 8-meter fan arc without guarding someone, so you got to move in and out of it.
Kuykendall winds up, decides not to fire, backpedals and resets. Trying to find Scane, who lost her footing. Big break here for Boston College. Scane had plenty of room, the all-time leading scorer in the history of the sport. That's the last person who you want with the ball and room to run. And instead, BC can settle it down, kill the remaining 10 seconds on this power play, go back to even strength, and try and pull another goal back here.
It's a beautiful field surface. It's all grass. However, it did rain last night, so it is a little bit slippery. We saw some slippage in the semifinal game, but a lucky break for Boston College. They've gotten some looks on Cage. They just need to shoot to space and really finish.
Here's Kayla Martello, splits two, but lost the ball. Martello, who had 6 goals in the ACC championship win for Boston College. One of the best finishers on this team, just lost the ball at the crucial moment.
And that's the kind of dodging you want. You want people on the perimeter, aggressively attacking the gaps of the zone. Unlucky break there, losing the ball.
This Northwestern team started out so hot, scoring 6 goals in that first quarter. The second quarter, 0 shots and 5 turnovers.
And yet, it feels like Boston College has failed to capitalize, at least on the offensive end, from Northwestern struggling in the second quarter. They've only pulled 1 goal back.
Another 3 seconds violation. This time it was on the backside, away from where the ball was on number 5, Belle Smith.
BC's got to make the adjustments there. You need to make sure that you're in and out of that 8-meter. You're either guarding somebody, then you're safe from 3 seconds. But if you are in there just hanging out, clogging up space, you've got to exit and then you can re-enter. They put the offending player 4 meters behind. You got a little stoppage in play just to get the timing issues corrected on the clock. And this puts Madison Taylor. She's on the 8-meter. She actually gets fouled again. This is going to set her up at a better hash mark, a better angle for the shot. She leads the nation in free position goals per game. She's very dangerous coming across the left side, a great lefty finisher, but she's really dangerous coming off the 8-meter. She can draw the fouls in contact. Now she's at the center hash mark. And look to Dylan Amonte, number 10, on her right. She may look to dish it to her.
Goes right to goal. Dolce makes the save. And immediately starts the clear for BC. Maybe the Eagles look for something in transition here.
Sydney Scales has been great in transition. Gives it to her offense. Big stop for Dolce. She got peppered with shots early on, but has made some really great plays the second quarter.
Rachel Clark, BC's leading scorer, yet to get going today, 1 in maroon. Here's Andrea Reynolds on the run. Draws the foul.
This is 3 seconds on Northwestern being called. So the officials, this is something that they are looking for. And again, that's a safety call because you don't want the space clogged up so you're not able to get a shot released. Andrea Reynolds will be on that center hash mark.
And she's got a cannon from the outside, typically likes to take it from the line.
The windup, lets it rip, and scores! Spikes the stick after the goal, Reynolds. Exactly what BC needed.
When you get put on the 8-meter, you have to make the other team pay. Andrea Reynolds, the senior, had 0 goals in that semifinal game. This one with the windup, the stick, and rip. And you can see her fired up. Great look on Cage, great deception, still stick side, but it's all about the power. And this way from the goal cam, pings the net, and you drop that stick. The official checks it to make sure that the pocket is legal. The goal is good, and BC trying to battle back.
So Northwestern dominant in that first quarter. The Wildcats jumping out to that 6-0 lead, but Boston College has held the Wildcats scoreless in the second quarter. They've pulled 2 goals back, and now they've won another draw control.
And that's key. They made a draw control change, putting Abby Harrod in. That seemed to have been a spark. I also think defensively, they got things going. They were a little bit aggressive. They forced Northwestern into some turnovers, and Shea Dolce's made some good stops.
We saw Andrea Reynolds on the score, but she has really evolved and been a key piece to the wing play on the circle of the draw control unit all season. Tracks the ball really well out of the air.
She's a downhill U.S. race skier. So Coach Acacia Walker has often said it's like she operates at full speed, just knows how to move her body so well, and just races after the ball. I'm not a skier, so I don't really understand how the ball translates.
Neither am I. Martello cuts and scores! Kayla Martello! And the Eagles make it 3 in a row to cut this Northwestern lead in half.
All eyes on number 38 in maroon when the ball is zipping around the perimeter. This starts with Rachel Clark, who draws 2. And that's how you connect all 4 quarters of an offense against a zone defense. Kayla Martello has proven her IQ and spatial awareness on the inside, always finishing her cuts, keeping her feet moving through the ball. And she wins that foot race to the inside.
Coming up at halftime, Drew Carter and Courtney Connor are here. What are you looking forward to, guys?
What's up, Jay? It's a beautiful day for lacrosse down here with a 5-time national champ. What's changed in the last 3 goals for Boston College?
You know, it's all about getting the draw control, moving the ball quickly, finding those seams, and they are shooting well.
We'll see you guys at halftime. Back to you.
I thought another one was going to go Boston College's way off the draw. Instead of foul called, Northwestern regains possession. The Eagles on a 3-0 run here in the second quarter to grab a foothold in this national championship game after it was all Northwestern in the opening 15 minutes. And as good as the Wildcats were offensively in the first quarter, something has changed. And Izzy Scane, the leading scorer in the history of the sport, has yet to get going in this championship game.
She's had 0 shots, and other people have stepped up for Northwestern, and that worked for them the first quarter. The second quarter been held scoreless.
Lindsay Frank, the immediate answer. The pride of Saratoga Springs delivers. 3 goals in the semifinal. It notches her first of this national championship game.
Frank has come on strong as of late. She breaks the scoring drought for Northwestern. This is all about just going hard, and again, look at the room that is given to her by the surrounding players. BC's not able to slide and make contact. I think when the Northwestern players are driving to cage, BC's got to be there a little bit quicker, get matched up, stick on stick, try to deflect the shot. Lindsay Frank, so strong. 2-sport athlete, transfer from Richmond, where she was a dominant scorer and winning the draw controls. Came to Northwestern to play both sports, part of that Northwestern team that made it to the national championship for field hockey. They lost to North Carolina, but entered into this team kind of midway through the season. Being a dual sport athlete, you miss a lot. And Kelly Monty-Hill telling us that she's gotten into a rhythm, and she's really done an excellent job.
Hold for the whistle. Bottom hand towards me, Red, and keep it there. Ready?
First goal for Northwestern in over 14 minutes. This one looks like it's going to go to BC and LaPinto.
See number 5 in maroon, Belle Smith, down on the crease. Traditional midfielder who likes to play up top. But because McKenna Davis is being shut off and closely guarded by number 44, Hannah Gillespie, She's providing extra support down there on the crease where Davis typically plays.
Here's Rachel Clark. And now LaPinto. Boston College looking a lot better offensively in the second quarter.
It's hard for BC to get those one-on-ones.
They get one here, and it's Kayla Martello again. Back-to-back goals for Martello. One of these seniors for BC that won the national championship in 2021 as freshmen, trying to bookend their careers now as seniors.
Kayla Martello is constantly moving on the inside. A hard cut and rollback is what wins her that space. And you can't give her an inch of freedom. With that stick, she will bury it with both hands. This time, it's the lefty up top.
Martello was a little bit slow in that semifinal game, but that is what she's been so good at all season long, was the cutting to the inside and getting open and the finishing. 5'8", and it really set up by Rachel Clark, who's not been able to get that great one-on-one look, but found the dish into Martello, which opens up the good cage.
What's wild about Kayla Martello's story is that the Boston College staff stumbled on her in the recruiting process, and it's her ability to consistently get better, consistently learn, that's impressed this coaching staff. It makes her so elite, and she's so coachable. She's got 2 older brothers who beat her up in the backyard, so you really got to knock her down to keep her down. She's a tough player out there.
In the ACC championship against Syracuse about a month ago, Martello had 6 goals on 6 shots, and a lot of them looked like the one she just scored. Slipping into space, reading what the defense gave her. She can take it 1v1, but a lot of her goals are assisted, which is, you know, if you see her open, you want to get the ball to her. Izzy Scane with a touch. She's been very unselfish this year. She is the all-time leading scorer for Division I, but she will let other people take it to cage, which is a force to stop.
Good ball movement here. The top 4 scorers all getting a touch for Northwestern. Scane, Kuykendall, Taylor, and Amonte. And it's Amonte who steps up to the 8-meter. Shooting 50% on the season, but passes off. Northwestern's been very patient on free positions. They've had plenty of 8-meter opportunities in this first half, but have not gone to goal very much at all. Kuykendall's hit a couple, but outside of that, they have been shy to shoot on the free positions, and it's Kuykendall who stays down here. Sheehan, I know you're a big proponent that if you're on the 8-meter, you have to have the confidence to go to goal.
I think if you think you've got a great shot, I think you should take it. If you don't, I love them pulling it out, because the last thing you want is somebody to think, I don't really like this, my angle right here. Izzy Scane's going to be put on the 8-meter. I'm going to bet that she's going to take this shot.
The sport's all-time leading scorer adds another to her tally. First shot of the day is a beauty, and Izzy Scane restores a 4-goal Wildcats lead.
The reigning Tewaaraton winner, 84th goal this season. She just waited for the opportunity to present itself. So dangerous on the 8-meter. She's got such power. Her stick is high, but the finish is low, and this is what gets past Dolce. Great placement, non-stick side. She generates so much power. You look at her hands, very low on the shaft of that stick. See how pumped up she is, and then from the goal cam, right between the legs of Dolce. You look at the career numbers for Izzy Scane, 372 goals, all-time NCAA leader, 479 points, second all-time in Division I. She didn't play the 2022 season, sidelined with an ACL injury, came back last year to win the national championship, and didn't look slowed down. Sometimes people come back from an injury and they don't look the same player. If anything, I think she looked better, and she showed more appreciation for the game and the gratitude. It was apparent.
An absolute game wrecker from an offensive perspective, and in this game when she hasn't gotten a lot of touches. Sometimes it's about letting the game come to you. And she's showing off her veteran experience in a play like that one.
Just her first shot of the game, and oftentimes she is leading Northwestern in the amount of shots taken.
Straighten you. Bottom hand up, White. Good. Hold. Hold.
You hear the official saying hold. Once the official sets the ball inside the 2 sticks, you have to stay stationary until the whistle's blown. The ball's got to go above the shoulders of both players. We're going to see now a green card issued. Check across the body. Again, a new rule this year for the fouls between the restraining lines. If there's a physical play, tripping, pushing to the body, that will be whistled and a green card awarded for a 60-second penalty. A woman up opportunity. It's releasable on a score, and this does not count to your total yellow card count. So we've seen a lot of 1-minute penalties throughout the course of this season.
And with only a 7-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock here, a 60-second penalty, but I would expect the Boston College offense to really be patient and picky here so they can string something together and build momentum going into halftime.
And because Northwestern's down a player defensively, you now can't shut off number 3, McKenna Davis, the BC quarterback. They go right back to Martello, and that's 3 in a row for the senior, Kayla Martello. She has taken over for Boston College offensively. They keep going to 38 in maroon and gold, and she keeps delivering.
All eyes on the ball carrier as it goes down through the crease, but it's number 38, constantly slipping and manipulating the inside defenders, backdoors, Sammy White, and she cuts hard to that back pipe, buries it low.
Martello, 3 of BC's 5, trying to bring the Eagles back into this national championship game. And Champ Weekend continues tomorrow. The NCAA Men's Lacrosse National Championship, 1 Eastern, right here on ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. The Division II championship for women's lacrosse was yesterday. Congratulations to Tampa winning their first national championship.
So exciting. I think the first time, probably most memorable. Great pickup for Abby Herod. Last 3 goals for Boston College have all been assisted. Northwestern's done an excellent job of really limiting the one-on-ones. But the passes inside, that's where they've been effective, and Martello has been hot and finishing strong.
And the Eagles with an opportunity in the final minute here of the first half to cut it to 2. It would be a remarkable feat considering they started this game down 6-0.
Adjustments in game are so critical, especially at a stage like this.
Martello again! 4 straight goals for the senior. And it's the Kayla Martello show in this second quarter. She's got 4 goals in this second quarter. Northwestern as a team only has 2.
Acacia Walker, the head coach of BC, has called Kayla Martello the heartbeat of the team, one of her favorite offensive players, and she has come to play today and responded. Love this, the manipulation of the defense. Rachel Clark, who's known as a scorer, has dished out 2 assists today, both to Martello. And Martello with a nice pump fake, makes the defense hesitate, freezes La Liberty, and sticks this one in bottom corner.
Patience right there by the senior to not take that shot right off the catch, as we've seen in her previous goals. Takes the extra second to win the angle to the inside, dropping her stick around the defense, changing levels on La Liberty.
Ready?
Well, after going down 6-0, the Eagles looked certainly down, but Acacia Walker told us there's still 3 quarters to play. The dream still very much alive for BC. And they'll get the ball here for the final 33 seconds to try and make it a one-goal game.
Plenty of time to set up something offensively. Martello with the hot hand.
What's been the difference?
Well, one, the lack of turnover. So BC had a couple of offensive possessions where they just looked rattled. So calm and composed. I think the defense actually playing better is what sparked the offense, gave them some extra chances. But I like the passing plays. The going in hard was not working. What a takeaway.
Kendall Halpern, great anticipation, and now the Wildcats have time here in the final 10 seconds. Bowling, one of the fastest players on the field. Great save! Shea Dolce to the rescue to finish this first half. And we've got a game after Northwestern jumped out to that 6-0 lead. Acacia Walker's team has thrown a big punch in this second quarter. They are right back in it.
Battled back in at Boston College, made the adjustments, finally finishing on offense. Northwestern with the lead, but I think we've got a great second half ahead.
Really building off momentum from the draw control circle, and the offenses are settling into this one.
What a first half. Northwestern, an 8-6 lead over Boston College at the break. You'll have first half analysis down on the field with Drew Carter and Courtney Connor. Kelly Amonte Hiller, 8 wins, only 1 loss when it comes to national championship games. She's made it to championship weekend more than any head coach. And Northwestern and Amonte Hiller start this second half with a 2-goal lead. But they started this game with a 6-0 lead, so Boston College has done well to cut it to 2 here to start the third quarter.
Ready?
Big draw control win for Samantha Smith and the Wildcats to start the third. What adjustments do you think Northwestern has to make on the offensive end? Because they struggled in that second quarter.
They only had 4 shots in that second quarter, so just generating some more possessions. This is what they came for. I think no one would have thought that Northwestern would have jumped out to a 6-0 lead and hold Boston College scoreless, so it's just understanding. 30 more minutes to play, got to lock in both offensively and defensively.
And Charlotte, what's been the difference? Boston College obviously playing a lot more team defense in that second quarter. Spinning her way free to no avail, Schumar, and BC comes away with it again.
It's been their on-ball pressure. Early in that first quarter, the slides and second slides helped defensively were a little bit late. And so having that on-ball pressure initially really helps you slide with confidence and go early.
McKenna Davis very quiet in that first half. She's the Eagles quarterback, the leading assister in the nation. That rings off the pipe. La Liberty got just enough. That's a big save for Molly La Liberty, but Northwestern fails to clear it, and McKenna Davis wins it back to keep the ball with BC.
This is the BC team we've seen all season long. They fight for those extra ground balls. They fight for the extra possessions when the turnover happens. Beautiful job. Love the passing sequence. La Liberty is able to keep that one out of the net, but a great offensive effort.
Here's Emma Pinto, and now Davis.
In that first half, we saw number 3, McKenna Davis, being shut off. She is the facilitator of this offense as a shooting space foul is called.
And this is Ryan Smith, who steps up to the 8-meter. Primarily BC's draw control taker, but she stays on offense as well. Had a free position in the first half. La Liberty made the save.
Free position opportunity.
Smith charges in, goes low, and scores! Ryan Smith makes it a 1-goal game.
Great confidence for Ryan Smith. Just her 9th goal of this season, and she did not score on the 8-meter in the first half. But yet she sees this space. This is showing what a leader is. Last season at Boston College, great bounce shot. She does a little stutter step with her feet and gets a little bit off angle. Just goes a little bit to the left and then back to the right. Beautiful bounce shot. An excellent job choking up on her stick a little bit, which shortens it. Her bottom hand, and just shoots overhand. Good placement. A 1-goal game, so a strong start for BC.
Ryan Smith, the daughter of 2 BC alums, Maggie and Scott. Scott actually played for Boston College back when they had a men's lacrosse program in the 90s. And how about this? For an Eagles team that have historically disappointed in this national championship game.
Stay right there.
1 win, 5 losses, including last year to Northwestern.
Ready?
They go down 6-0. Many people probably thinking they're left for dead, and they have punched back in a big way to make it a 1-goal game.
This is going to be a yellow card, I believe, being issued. Check to the head.
Going up for that ball in the air as they came down. Swiping for that, gets the goggles of Sammy White.
Good call.
Great call by the officials. Any contact with the head is going to be an automatic yellow card. This is now Boston College's 2nd yellow card.
So Northwestern moves to the power play.
Yellow card on defense number 15, Andy Henry.
The officials have blown play dead here before the power play can begin.
They're bringing the ball back to the midfield line.
Have to start the possession where the foul occurred.
So Northwestern up a player for 1 minute 59 seconds. It's releasable on a Northwestern score.
Is this an opportunity, woman up to maybe get Izzy Scane, 27 in white, involved? Only 1 shot today for the leading scorer in the history of the sport. Has it here.
I think you want Izzy Scane involved in every offensive possession. It just causes the defense just to take a deep breath when she's got the ball on her stick.
Kuykendall was the catalyst in that first quarter. Off to Scane.
That's where we've seen her be dangerous on that elbow, pumping for shooting space, being a threat.
See a 3 seconds violation. A lot of this has been called this game, so officials aware of those off-ball players and puts Izzy Scane on the 8-meter. This is where she scored her first goal of the game. Actually, she will not take the 8-meter. Samantha Smith, number 19, will.
Smith steps in, fires right at Dolce, who makes the save.
Great save for Shea Dolce. Have to have a short memory when you're a goaltender.
Lunging with her body, exploding to the ball.
We asked her, what does she think about when somebody gets set up at the 8-meter? She said, I'm not thinking about who's taking that shot. I'm just looking at the ball, focused on the ball, trying to make that save.
And goalies scout shooters as well. They study film on different offensive sets, but specific shooter tendencies and what they may do on that 8-meter line, if they like to shoot it from the outside or they traditionally run it in towards the middle for an inside shot.
Jen Kent, Boston College's defensive coordinator, told us nobody watches more film than Dolce, and clearly that film study paying dividends in a national championship game. 10 seconds left on the power play. Very nice penalty kill by Boston College. But now they don't have much time. 7 seconds to shoot. Back to even strength. Although Pinto can't control it. Halpern there to disrupt again. Kendall Halpern has been excellent on the defensive end for Northwestern. It helps anchor what is a very veteran defense for the Wildcats. They'll need to lean on them in the second half.
Halpern and Carly Mahoney, both of who've been recognized as real team leaders for that defense.
And they play a variety of defenses. They can have that high pressure zone where they press out on the perimeter. They can also sink back, and we saw a lot of that in the first half. Sinking inside, trying to take up space on the middle.
Here's Scane. for her standards, been very quiet today. Just one shot, has not forced it. But Northwestern might need her to step up. Erin Kuykendall with it now. That dynamic duo, probably the best 1-2 punch the sport has seen in a very long time. And another yellow card comes out, this one on Belle Smith.
This is the third yellow card now for Boston College. They had 5 yellow cards in last year's national championship game. Not typically known for getting a ton of cards. This is exactly the right call from the official, the swipe to the head. So now Belle Smith's got one to her name. Becky Browndorf and Abby Herod, both with a yellow card. 2 yellow cards, you're removed from the game of play as an individual. But on the next yellow card for Boston College, this penalty becomes 2 minutes and non-releasable. So the entire BC team has to rein in the aggression and play a little bit more conservative.
What does that feel like, Charlotte, when someone whacks you in the head like that?
Doesn't feel good, but those goggles are there for a reason, to protect your eyes. But defenders have to be careful. They got to use their footwork when they approach and guard a dodger on the perimeter. Not try to swipe for the stick, only when it presents itself away from the player's body to go for that check.
This is a great draw of shooting space for Kuykendall. So there she had the opportunity to shoot, and she was looking to shoot with that pump fake, draws that BC defender in the path of cage, not being completely marked up. Once again on the hanging hash mark, not a great angle. We've seen Kuykendall assist from this angle, or she can cut to the inside. Look for the far side, Madison Taylor.
Kuykendall pointing at the backside, directing her teammates to set up because there is a man up somewhere when she sets up on the 8-meter.
They do force it to Taylor. But a foul called against Northwestern. The officials coming together here. Scott Hiller, assistant coach for Northwestern, who does most of the offense, very frustrated with that call from the officials.
It's going to be an alternate possession, so we'll see who this ball was awarded to. So there must have been a foul against Northwestern because BC won the run out on that shot. And looks like it's in Hunter Roman's stick, so this may go Boston College's way.
Take another look. You see the contact as Taylor draws 2.
From that angle, to me, it looks like pretty good defensive effort with sticks up. Now, did she land in the crease on her own? And maybe that could be the other foul.
So Boston College ball and a great opportunity to kill this Northwestern power play. Another offensive possession that goes empty for the Wildcats. And another card coming out here.
Change of color, we're now at a green card, and this is for those fouls in between the 30s, and this is gonna go against Northwestern for the check that went into the body. These players have been playing with this new rule all season long, and we've seen a lot of adjustments made, especially in transition on the clear, but you gotta be careful of those physical fouls in the 30, or else you'll be sidelined for 60 seconds.
And this sets up a 6-on-6 play in the settled offensive set for Boston College. So more spacing. That Northwestern zone will play maybe a little more conservatively and have to really pack it in.
Somewhere down the road in Chapel Hill, North Carolina's head coach Jenny Levy is smiling. She proposed rule changes to make this sport 6v6 offensively, and that's what we will get for the next minute.
It definitely opens things up. I like the extra spacing for the offense when it goes 6-on-6.
So you think it benefits the offense when there's a player out and it's 6v6?
Yes, and I like the defense too. I don't like it clogged up. I love seeing the one-on-ones. I like the great takes, and a lot of times the zone defense takes that away. But when you have less people on the field, it makes it a bit harder to cover all that spacing with the zone. So I like a lot of goals and a lot of free space that you can be able to create.
Davis spins free, tries to find Martello, and a foul called.
Shooting space violation. I think that Davis should have taken that to Cage. She was wide open off the roll dodge.
Davis really showcasing her dodging ability as of late as a goal scorer, often known as the disher, as the leader in the nation in assists. but she can take it to the rack too.
Broke BC's assist record as a junior, now trying to score. No, always the consummate feeder. Thought she was going to go to goal, tried to pick out Lopinto, and instead turns it over.
Lopinto's still down. She's very slow to get up, still on the ground. Pass was a little bit too high for Lopinto. Northwestern defender went down as well. I'm not sure if they made contact. Doesn't look good when she hits the turf. She's walking off on her own accord, which is good to see. Hopefully she just can spend some time on the sideline, just get things working together. She looks good moving now. So it's really scary. In Charlotte, you know, when you just kind of go to the ground, often it hurts a lot more in the moment, and then it kind of wears off.
And you've got your eyes on the ball coming at you for the feed, and you feel that you're on the doorstep. So oftentimes it can be a little blinding when the slide comes in and catch you off guard.
And usually Davis is right on the money, just the pass was a little bit off. So Pinto not able to make the connection.
So Northwestern back with the ball. This is a Wildcats offense who started this game with 6 goals in the first 11 minutes of the game. Since then, Sheehan, only 2 goals have been scored by Northwestern. So the offense has really slowed down.
Referees making sure neither team is offsides.
And I think a lot of that is what BC was doing to themselves. They came out, they were scoreless the entire first quarter. Northwestern started off on a tear, and they made some adjustments. So we expected this to be a close game.
Here's Lindsey Frank, gets free, can't finish it though. Seemed like Northwestern, everything they shot was finding the back of the net early. Right now they're getting similar opportunities, they're just not finishing it. Championship weekend continues tomorrow, 1 Eastern time right here on ESPN. Northwestern pulls one back, and it's Madison Taylor again, a hat trick for the sophomore.
Madison Taylor, one of the most efficient shooters for this Northwestern team. It's that last inside tuck that wins her the race to the cage. And she buries it to put her team up by 2.
The sport's all-time leading scorer adds another to her tally. Here's Erin Kuykendall, shakes free, and scores!
Especially at a stage like this.
Martello again! 4 straight goals for the senior. Now we expected a close competitive game. Northwestern jumped out to that 6-0 lead, and you're starting to think, is this a repeat of 2023 a year ago when the Wildcats beat BC 18-6, but credit to Boston College, battled back in the second quarter, and it's a 2-goal game midway through the third. Charlotte North, Sheehan, Stanward Birch, Jay Alter with you, Dana Boyle down on the sidelines. And we are expecting a fun finish down the stretch here. The top 2 seeds in this tournament, the Big Ten champs, Northwestern, against the ACC champs, Boston College. Madison Taylor scored the last goal for the Wildcats, wins the draw here. Foul called, the check-in down with Dana Boyle on the sideline.
It's good to see Emma Lapinto, number 13 for Boston College, back on the field. I spoke to Lindsay Latonen, the athletic trainer for Boston College. She just had a right quad contusion, and in layman's terms, that means just a dead leg. So it's nice that she's back on the field for the Eagles.
I was thinking, Dana, you upped your medical terms. I'm glad you gave us this definition.
Here's Scane, gets free, and scores! Izzy Scane, in her final game in a Wildcats uniform, delivers a much-needed goal, and Northwestern back up by 3.
4.2 goals per game, the 85th goal for the season for Izzy Scane. This is why they call her the Scane tree. Once she gets moving, she's tough to stop. On a mission, 2 goals on just 2 shots. So she's had limited possessions, but she's made the most of them. And you can see just how fired up she is.
How about this tattoo that Izzy Scane got after they won their national championship last year? I feel like that would hurt, but they are very much operating in the mindset of attacking another national championship game versus defending. So they're gonna go punch for punch to the final whistle here.
Yep, Scane trying to go back-to-back, won it on this very field a year ago. And with that goal, Izzy Scane, 85 goals to her name on the season. That ties Loyola's Chase Boyle for the most goals scored by any player this season. Of course, Scane already has the career scoring record in the history of this sport. And a reminder coming up tonight right here on ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball, Cubs and Cardinals, 7 Eastern Time on ESPN. Great sports weekend continues on ESPN. Had the Monaco Grand Prix this morning, a national championship right here between Boston College and Northwestern. The Eagles, no shots in the last 7 minutes.
Northwestern going into their high pressure zone, pushing out on the perimeter compared to their moderate pressure zone that we saw earlier in this game. Really starting to get out on the hands of the attackers, both behind the cage and up top.
I'm surprised they didn't go into it earlier. I love seeing their high-pressured zone. It can often rattle ball handlers. Nowadays, extremely hot, probably the hottest game that either one of these teams have had. It requires a ton of energy to put that pressure on defensively.
And when you play the high-pressure zone, you can't shut off in that face guard that they had on McKenna Davis, so that is now released.
Davis trying to find Martello. Those two just couldn't connect. A connection that's worked all season for the Eagles. Just an inch off.
Northwestern very good at getting that ball once it hits the grass. And that's key, because when you make a missed pass in the inside of the 8 meter, often you can get a goal scored and the goalie can't figure out where it is, so it's great when your defense can pick it up.
And when the defense is on your hands and in your face, it's harder to see that next layer behind you as a feeder of where the pass may be. And then when you got the backside defense helping inside deter those feeds, it can be tough to connect.
Here's Kuykendall, the two-man game with Scane. How many times have we seen these two combine? Although they reverse field with Dylan Amonte now.
Shea Baker, number 14 in maroon, more of a defensive role as of late for the Boston College team, is now on Madison Taylor, guarding her on that left side.
Kuykendall goes at Sydney Scales. A comfortable save by Dolce, and now Belle Smith will start the clear for BC.
Another great ground ball, this time on BC's defensive end, just picked up by the defense. Becky Browndorf, one of the transfers from Florida, she'll leg it up. So a couple misconnections for Boston College on their last sequences. The one that passed to Lapinto, and then the pass into Martello. So they just need to tighten things up a little bit. But I like the assisted goals. That's worked well against this Northwestern zone.
Here's Rachel Clark, 3 assists today, but no goals for BC's leading scorer. Can they get number 1 going?
She could draw the fouls too, so I'm surprised they're not having her attack more. This one gets whistled for a check into the body area, outside of that 12-meter area, so just reset.
Now Clark, 5 goals in the semifinal win against Syracuse, 5 goals in the regular season meeting against Northwestern, so surprised to see her scoreless late in the 3rd quarter.
Carly Mahoney, number 29 in white, is the rover, backing the ball inside of that 8 meter. She's all over this defensive set.
And you see how just the Northwestern defense collapses. Makes it very difficult for BC.
Lapinto, somehow an impossible angle, and it goes for the Florida transfer, Emma Lapinto. So slippery around the crease, and she makes Northwestern pay there.
LaPinto knows here that they blitz you at X. So the second she sees that pressure sagging off a little bit, she takes advantage of the space, sneaking around that left side of the crease, and she shoots this right before goal line extended. That's what allows her to get the shot off cleanly before the defense gets to her. Unable to get a piece of it, and she sneaks it in that near side pipe.
I mean, talk about no angle. That's unbelievable. To release that shot, goal line extended, and she doesn't go diving for it, a really extension of her stick. Just great wrist play, and the Northwestern defense just slow the slide to LaPinto. She's got excellent footwork and a great addition to Boston College.
I can't see where. It's her hand. I can't
Stay on that side.
Right.
So I don't have to move my hand so you can see it. So I need you to keep your stick straight.
Mine, one! Stay there. No, go,
Straight.
go.
Hold.
Boston College wins the draw control again. Great to listen in to the two centers of the draw control circle, Charlotte. You mentioned in the first half, it's like a quarterback at the line of scrimmage barking orders at his offensive line, making adjustments and audibles at the line of scrimmage. Clearly, Boston College's adjustments have been prevailing.
And a lot of it is the audible call because it's adjusting to what you feel at the center. And that's what allows you to tell your teammates where you think the ball might end up, giving them an advantage exploding. Once that whistle goes, you gotta win the race to the spot the ball ends up to.
Here's Belle Smith, swarmed, quickly back to Davis. And again, off the mark with Martello. That's twice in this third quarter that Martello's been wide open and just hasn't connected on the feed.
And usually that's an automatic connection. She's got to make those catches, because if you're going to feed it in there, it ends up being a turnover if it's not made. I think BC in that possession was trying to draw some shooting space with some pump fakes, but they need to realize and recognize the clock that they still have some time.
What's remarkable, Charlotte, is this is far from Boston College's best performance, but the ACC champions still only down by 2 in this national championship game.
And this defensive pressure is what has allowed them in these stretch of games in the playoffs to really find a flow offensively.
Scane called for the charge. Stays down. There was initial contact from Belle Smith. Scane went flying forward, and the call on the field was an offensive foul against Scane.
Back up on her feet, good to see her moving. So she tries to slip through the double team.
Runs right in and collides with Hunter Roman. And then lands at full speed on that right shoulder.
Yeah, this is not good for Northwestern. And Izzy Scane is one of the toughest players out there. She battles through the contact.
And it looks like the officials have come together and awarded the ball back to Northwestern. Might be alternating possessions, which Boston College won earlier in this game. And when there's a foul on both players, it's alternating possessions, and it stays Northwestern's way.
Scane looking like she's gripping her stick with both hands.
Oh, this is going to be a yellow card. Boston College, this is now the 4th yellow card. This is going to go on Shea Baker, so this is now an unreleasable penalty. Boston College is in card trouble. 2 minutes unreleasable, so it means if Northwestern's able to score, they can go back to the draw, win possession again, still being a player up. Watch the contact with the head. Any contact with the head and neck area, whether it's by accident, slippage, or a really aggressive play, will be yellow carded. Big opportunity for Northwestern now. 58 seconds left to go in this third quarter, being a player up. if they opt to hold possession for the remainder of this third quarter, they would start the game with possession instead of having a draw. So we'll see what they opt to do.
I think because it's an unreleasable penalty, you go to goal. That's exactly what Samantha Smith does, but Dolce there to keep it out.
The man-down defense opted to go with Scane as she cut through the 8-meter, leaving Samantha Smith wide open with almost too much room. She hesitated just a little bit on whether she was going to pull the trigger from the outside or go in.
BC should take this, get a shot off, even though they are down a player.
Final 10 seconds of the quarter. Lopinto trying to wiggle free. Sends it up top. 3 seconds left in the quarter. Now Davis! A remarkable goal! McKenna Davis beats the buzzer and makes it a 1-goal game, shorthanded. At just 5'6", Davis somehow got to the ball and in spectacular fashion fires it to the back of the net.
The junior stepped up, makes almost an impossible catch. 2 defenders on her. She gets it in her stick, and then look at the backhanded placement. Fired up. What a way to bring this third quarter to an end. Just 0.4 seconds left. Absolutely beautiful. That just fires you up, and what a momentum play.
That was nasty by McKenna Davis, over the shoulder with 0.4 seconds on the clock. The awareness and IQ and the creativity of the junior attacker.
The junior who leads the nation in assists scores the most spectacular goal of the day, and to do it shorthanded, no less. And we head to the fourth quarter in a 1-goal game. What more do you want? The drama continuing to build in the national championship game. Northwestern and Boston College, the dream alive for these two programs. Start of the fourth quarter in the national championship, and Northwestern clinging to a 1-goal lead. They jumped out 6-0 in the first quarter. Let's hear for the Wildcats head coach Kelly Amonte-Hiller down with Dana.
Coach, we know that no lead is safe in women's lacrosse. Boston College going punch for punch. How do you close out the fourth quarter?
I mean, this is what you expect in a national championship. Just fight till the end, and we just got to continue to enjoy ourselves and fight hard.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Go Cats.
Now, she in a critical moment for Northwestern at the end of the third quarter. They go on the power play, leading by 2 goals. And if they just hold that ball for the remainder of the third quarter, there would be no draw control. They would start the fourth quarter with the ball and a 2-goal lead. Instead, they went to goal, turned it over. Boston College goes down the field, scores a spectacular goal with McKenna Davis, and it totally changes the game.
A huge momentum shift. I mean, I think really Northwestern should have waited for that last second shot. I don't mind the shot there, except they took it at a point in the shot clock that enabled BC to get downfield. And McKenna Davis, that's a highlight reel goal that we are going to be seeing as this game comes to an end. It was unbelievable finish. Gives them a ton of momentum, back to the center draw, but Kelly Amonte-Hiller is exactly right. This is what we expected in this game. What a battle, 15 minutes to go.
And Boston College is still a player down. Number 14, Shea Baker in the box. That penalty was unreleasable because it was their 4th yellow card.
And each yellow card after this for Boston College will also be an unreleasable penalty, so they need to make sure that they are more conservative.
So Northwestern starts this fourth quarter, a woman up and a goal up, and they've got the ball. So the power play for 50 seconds here at the start of the fourth quarter. Sheehan, what is going to separate these two talented teams down the stretch of this fourth quarter?
I think this is going to go punch for punch. It just is going to be who has it. 15 more minutes to go. These teams have been battling it out to extend their season. They've got some star players. This is their last chance playing college lacrosse. Who wants it more? Can't wait to see this finish.
Here's Izzy Scane in attack mode. Scores! Izzy Scane cashes in on the power play. And Northwestern back up by 2. And it's a hat trick for Scane in the national championship.
The all-time leading goal scorer in the history of the sport. A complete wrecking ball, dodging from up top. She gets this pass, bobbles it from down low, and almost explodes after lulling her defender to sleep. When she turns this corner, it is a scary sight for opposing defenses. Turns on the jets and bulldozes her way down that alley to get it back inside to her strong hand. And the off-hip side placement is what gets that one to go.
3 goals on 3 shots. Erin Kuykendall, number 2, hyping up the fans. Power play for another 21 seconds. This is an unreleasable yellow card, which was a 2-minute penalty. BC was able to score a woman down. Scane gets a score, a woman up.
Off-ball hold called on Madison Taylor as she was running down that ground ball. Gives the ball to Boston College.
So BC can kill the rest of this power play, go back to even strength. Trailing by 2, 14 minutes remaining in regulation of this national championship game. The Eagles trailed by 6 at the end of the first quarter. They've done well to battle back, get right back in this game. They've made it a 1-goal game twice, but they've never tied it.
They've been looking for those skip passing lanes on the backside, so ball carriers scanning the middle of the 8-meter, trying to find an open cutter.
3 seconds violation. This is going to set up an 8-meter.
And it belongs to Emma Lupinto.
She's got the range to take it from the line as well.
2 goals today, 1-on-1 with La Liberty, passes it off, and a goal! Rachel Clark! The transfer from Virginia makes it a 1-goal game in the 4th.
The leading goal scorer for Boston College has been a bit quiet in terms of putting goals in, but she gets her first one of the day. Has chipped in a couple assists. This is a beautiful pass from Lupinto. Excellent job. I thought she was going to take it. She had the hot hand, scored a couple goals, but fires this one across the 8-meter, and Clark keeps it in her right hand, and it's her wrist strength. We've talked about it all season long. The dexterity that she has, her placement of her shots is up and down in front of her body, and then she's able to place the ball, which is a slight change of her wrist, and slip that one by La Liberty.
And the no-look dish by Lupinto. That's the deception that an elite offensive player has. We see it with number 2 in white on the other side, Erin Kuykendall, and Emma Lupinto for Boston College. To all the young players watching, that subtle eye movement gets the defense fooled.
Lupinto is second on the team for Boston College in assists. And this is going to be a hard foul on Northwestern. I think it's going to be a yellow card.
They go green against Carly Mahoney.
So green card for the push, and that's because it was inside the 30s. I thought there was head contact made, which would be a yellow card. Take a look at this foul. The goggles move on that play. Not sure if it's with Cassie Weeks putting her hand up on her head, though. But it's a green card, so this does not count to the yellow card total for Northwestern, who's got 3 to their names. This is a 90-second releasable penalty. Excuse me, 60-second releasable. The shot clock goes back to 90 seconds.
This is the 4th time today that Northwestern has held a 1-goal lead, but it has not been tied since the game started at 0-0. Great opportunity for the Eagles on the power play.
Keep your eyes on the off-ball movement on the inside, manipulating the defenders.
Davis starting to heat up. And now Belle Smith. Clark with space, takes it in, goes high, missed it. Stays with Boston College. The Eagles have the backup.
Still plenty of time left on the shot clock, 45 seconds.
Power plays down to 12. Good ball movement by BC. Tried to squeeze it into Martello. And Northwestern comes away with it. Great woman down defense by the Wildcats.
That's what Northwestern does so well, is they make it look like somebody's open in the inside, and we've seen them just deflect or put pressure on the cutting players and come up with the turnover. BC got back into this game after being down 6-0 by being more aggressive defensively. They do have 4 yellow cards, so each yellow card will be a 2-minute non-releasable penalty. So they do have to make sure that they are very careful in terms of the cross checks and any contact made to the head.
Scane has a step on scales. Missed it. Battle for the ground ball. Won by Boston College. And here come the Eagles in transition.
Help defense on that last move by Scane. Close that gap a little quicker, deterring her shot angle.
Clark weaving through and scores! Rachel Clark ties it at 11. Boston College tied for the first time today after the Eagles went down by 6 in that opening quarter.
Turning on the Jets in transition, not letting the zone defense get set up. Rachel Clark dodging on the elbow, and it's that quick snap of the wrists. The placement of this shot is almost perfect. Right to that near side corner as she's blazing downhill. The awareness to push the pace and not let them get into their zone.
BC started this game going 0 for 5 in shooting. Since then, they've gone 11 of 15.
Wow.
Rachel Clark heating up, 2 goals, 3 assists on the day.
And BC wins the draw. An opportunity to take the lead for the first time today.
See everyone just kind of taking a breath, getting all their offensive personnel on the field for Boston College.
A year ago, when these two teams met to decide the national championship, it was all Northwestern. They won it 18-6. Looked like it was headed that way again when the Wildcats jumped out to a 6-0 start. Boston College has battled back. Now can they take the lead for the first time? Foul call behind the cage.
It was a hard check in the body. This is going to be whistled, no yellow card. They're going to give Rachel Clark the setup.
And heads up here, she's got someone behind her, so that means there is a man-up opportunity somewhere.
Here we go, let's run!
Go! 25 seconds to shoot. Weeks spinning her way free. Goes to goal. The rebound is in! Boston College leads for the first time today. Andrea Reynolds in perfect position for the scoop and score.
Reynolds with a monster goal. She's been dominant on the draw circle, coming up with those possessions. Sometimes it's not how you script it, but it's what you make out of it. Weeks goes in for what looks like almost an assured take, but Reynolds gets the rebound and puts this one in. What a beautiful play. That goes right off the shin of La Liberty. She hits the deck, and the stick just ricochets. Because she went to the ground, she was not able to explode up. Huge play, turn of events for Boston College. They have weathered this storm.
Great reaction, too. Down 6-0 at the end of the first quarter, and now leading for the first time in the fourth quarter. BC on a 5-1 run.
Their comeback started on the back of Kayla Martello. The senior has 4 goals on the day, and then it was Rachel Clark and Andrea Reynolds throwing that next punch.
And Martello had 4 goals in a row. It was like back to back to back to back. The Martello show.
Bottom hand towards me. Hold, do not move. Hold. Ready?
Great circle battle here, won by Emerson Bolig. And Madison Taylor has it for Northwestern. The Wildcats trailing for the first time today. Sheehan, how do they now punch back here in the fourth quarter?
Just understanding that 9 minutes left on this clock is an eternity. And just keep looking for their great takes to cage. They've had excellent shot opportunities. Both teams about even. 24 shots for Northwestern, 22 BC.
Here's Izzy Scane. Double teamed.
Open person's got to present themselves. It's on the backside, but you got to slip into space when you realize you're being guarded by one defender. If 2 people are being guarded by 1 defender.
Kuykendall was the catalyst of the first quarter, and the strong start. Been quiet since, has it here.
Colasante putting the defensive pressure on her.
And now Madison Taylor trying to shake free.
They've got a double team ready to go on Taylor if she penetrates the inside.
Great feed, but Kuykendall couldn't handle it. She was wide open.
Trying to connect the front side to the backside once the double team goes.
Bolig goes to goal, whizzes it wide, and Boston College has the backup.
You have to have backup if you're Northwestern. So whoever's closest to a shot when it goes out of bounds is awarded possession. And when the defense runs it out, it's a huge win. It's almost like those possessions should be starred because it's a great battle to win and start your offensive transition.
Bell Smith passes off to Kayla Martello. 2 players in their final year for BC that were part of this program as freshmen when they won it in 2021. That senior class got together in the middle of the season and said, this is our final run. We want to bookend our careers. Freshman champions, senior champions. They're 7 minutes and 15 seconds away from doing it. Foul called on the inside.
And there's going to be a card issued. Official reaching into her pocket, yellow card. Not sure who it's on yet. They've not told us. It looks like she's making a cross-checking motion.
Dangerous follow through. So the card is going to Emma Lapinto, number 13 for Boston College.
And Gillespie, are we seeing 2 cards on this play? Cross-check violation, the extension of the arms. So that's the first foul on Northwestern. See that pushing. And then Lapinto, watch her stick in the follow-through.
Yep.
And that goes right in the face. So that is a great call by the officials trying to keep track of everything that's going on. This is the 4th yellow card for Northwestern and now the 5th for Boston College. Both penalties are non-releasable. So essentially, they're back at even strength and they're issued at the same exact time.
The officials huddled up just to make sure they get this call correct. As it stands, each team would be a player down for the full 2 minutes because both penalties are unreleasable.
And issued at the same exact time. Now the first yellow card was for the cross check, and then the next one was for Emma Lapinto with the follow through. So the officials may be talking about who gets possession. Would it go to alternate possession, or would it be technically Northwestern's ball? They may go to alternate possession. We'll see if Dana can get some insight in terms of what the officials are talking about. We're being told it is alternate possession, so Boston College will maintain possession. So essentially, we get 6-on-6 offense right now. 6 defensive players, 6 offensive players.
And this will go to the dot. It will not be an 8-meter, even though the fouls occurred inside of the 8-meter because it's alternating possession. It goes to the dot behind the cage.
So really, there's no gamesmanship here that you have to play, since both of these yellow cards are both non-releasable. It's a big opportunity for Boston College right now.
7 minutes to go. BC clinging to a 1-goal lead. You certainly don't have to be too aggressive here, Sheehan, because you've got the ball and the lead.
I think in this heat, you want to get the defense rotating and moving, get them a little bit tired.
And the gaps in a zone defense in a settled 6v6 are a little bit wider.
Here's Martello, 4 goals to her name today. Davis, the quarterback, leads the nation in assists. And now Belle Smith, 2-time ACC Midfielder of the Year. So much talent on this field for both Boston College and Northwestern.
Overloading on the backside, trying to send decoy cutters through.
They find Martello in the middle. She delivers again! Kayla Martello, her 5th goal today, and that is the biggest of the bunch.
Martello on the inside has been feasting all day long. 5 goals on 7 shots. Catches this one under pressure. In a big moment, puts her team up by 2.
Here at Cary, North Carolina, the drama has been building all afternoon. Boston College and Northwestern. The final 6 minutes to decide who will be the 2024 national champions. Acacia Walker, the ACC champ. Kelly Amante-Hiller, the Big Ten champ. And it was the Wildcats that jumped out to that 6-0 lead in the first quarter. Boston College has roared back to take the lead by 2. Let's listen into this draw control. Big draw control win by Northwestern. Madison Taylor, one of 5 Tewaaraton finalists, which is awarded to the most valuable player in the sport, alongside her teammate Izzy Scane, who has it here.
And Northwestern is a woman up because of that Lopinto card, unreleasable, past the threshold of 4 yellow cards on the day.
Only for another 10 seconds, though. They still have 58 left on the shot clock. Desperate to find a goal here. And here's Erin Kuykendall with room, lets it fly. Too much on it, over the cage.
to call it a hold call. So this is gonna stay Northwestern's ball.
Anybody can.
Back to even strength. 37 seconds left on the shot clock. You had 4:58 remaining in regulation. And it's Izzy Scane! Of course it is! The sport's all-time leading scorer. When the chips are down, Scane delivers, and it's a one-goal game.
Fourth goal of the game for Izzy Scane. She makes it look so easy. Explodes off the mark, not with a great angle, but she's able to find the open net. She's got power, precision. The sixth-year player is here for her final game of her illustrious college career.
And it's Scane who has scored the last 3 Northwestern goals. You see her name atop all the players that have ever played this sport. Past our very own Charlotte North earlier this season, now up to 375 career goals. But her team still down by 1. Every draw control becomes more and more crucial down the stretch. Madison Taylor wins it again for Northwestern. Tiptoes down the sideline.
Oh, that's a dangerous area. I think they're going to call her being pushed. But you really don't want to bring the ball down the sideline because that acts as another defender and get you into a dangerous position. We talk about how Madison Taylor is such a great goal scorer, but her presence on the draw circle is really phenomenal.
Both teams with 2 timeouts, and Boston College clinging to a 1-goal lead in this national championship game. It's Scane again, in attack mode, goes to goal, denied by Dolce. Biggest save of the day for the sophomore.
And the Eagles have numbers here.
Clark up to Davis, she scores! You can't do it any better in transition. Dolce the stop, and Davis cashes in on the other end.
Shea Dolce stonewalls Izzy Scane in that same alley position. And that leads to a transition fast break goal. McKenna Davis sneaks underneath, takes the extra second, and buries it on the off-hip side of Law Liberty.
You love that little pump fake. Davis just with the extra second to get that score. Shea Dolce doesn't get an assist for that, but she should. She is the reason to get that ball downfield. Monumental save, transition downfield. When BC's been able to push transition, they have been unstoppable. It's been hard to crack that Northwestern zone unless they've been getting some of those assists to the inside. But through the save, end-to-end action, what a play.
In the biggest moments in a game like this, it's when stars are born. Shea Dolce, just a sophomore, makes the save of her life, and then Davis scoring on the other end. It's a 2-goal lead for BC. Eagles have the ball. And an off-ball foul.
I think this is offsides on Northwestern as they were riding into the settled defensive set. Too many went over the restraining line. So this will be a green card. 1 minute releasable penalty.
So Samantha Smith will be sidelined for 60 seconds. And that's just kind of a communication error when you have those offsides. You want to be communicating in of who needs to stay back. I think BC needs to be smart but aggressive. I would work the clock, but if they present an opportunity to score, I think you go for it. Get the defense running. It is extremely hot out here, very humid.
And Dana, you were in that Northwestern huddle.
Kelly Amonte-Hiller had some choice words for her defense, calling them out for being disheveled, not playing together, and you see them in this high-pressured defense. That's what they call red, because they need the possession, and she wants them to look out for those cuts on the backside. Boston College is making them pay there.
A yellow card being issued to Northwestern. This is non-releasable. The shot clock also gets reset back to a full 90 seconds, so this ends up being a very long possession for Boston College, and this is when I would work the clock. You've got 2 minutes non-releasable penalty, a full 90-second shot clock. They've given the ball to Cassidy Weeks, number 12 in red, who Acacia Walker has told us numerous times they want the ball in her stick, especially if they're trying to kill the clock. She can run all over the field. It's got an engine. They're going to just make this Northwestern defense run, play a little game of basically monkey in the middle.
And the Liberty now has to come out of her cage and help her defense in marking players around that goal circle.
So one player can come back on for Northwestern now. It's a 7v6. BC still on the power play though. Trying to kill this clock. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Boston College so close to a second national championship. These seniors won it as freshmen, now trying to bookend their careers here in Cary.
The clock is the most important thing right now. Clock in possession. Can Rachel Clark save it? No.
Northwestern ball. The Wildcats have life. Izzy Scane scoops it up, and now Northwestern has to go. 2 minutes left to play. And even though they're shorthanded, Sheen, I think you have to go to goal here.
It's in attack mode right now. I imagine you get it in Izzy Skane's stick.
Northwestern has 2 timeouts, deciding not to take one here. Lindsey Frank.
Looks like Lydia Colasante is denying Izzy Scane of the ball in this possession.
Kuykendall draws shooting space. And this will be a great opportunity on the 8-meter to make it a 1-goal game.
Reposition opportunity for number 2, Erin Kuykendall.
Erin Kuykendall in her final game in a Wildcats uniform. Lets it rip. Shea Dolce again! Scane reloads, she misses! It's La Dolce Vita for Boston College. The sophomore goalie standing tall again. Northwestern reloads. Still time here. Izzy
1 minute remaining.
Scores! Scane flies to goal, somehow gets it to go. And it's a 1-goal game with 55 seconds to play.
Izzy Scane, when the game is needing a goal, you go to your star player. 88th goal this season for Izzy Scane. Things did not look great. Erin Kuykendall rips this 8-meter. Shea Dolce with another awesome save. But then Izzy Scane will not be denied.
1 minute remaining.
She just goes through, penetrates the pressure, lunges her body forward. She's got one of the best face dodges. Just winds up, draws the defense towards her, rips the stick across her face. Beautiful placement against Shea Dolce, who's been so
1 minute
strong
remaining.
in that. Only 8 saves for Shea Dolce, but it seems like so many more. Some of the saves she have been so spectacular.
What a game. These two teams showing what a great sport this is when it is at its best. The championship weekend continues tomorrow on the men's side, 1 Eastern time, right here on ESPN with Notre Dame and Maryland. For more information, you can go to NCAA.com.
This next draw control is critical. These units have been going punch for punch. The circle is battling it out. Most of them have been 50-50 balls. So it'll be interesting to see where they set up on the perimeter.
And two different game plans for both these teams if you win possession. If you're Northwestern, you've got to get a chance to get a great look on cage to tie this game. If BC gets possession off this draw control, it's about maintaining the clock. We saw them throw an errant pass as they were trying to kill some of the penalty and wind down the shot clock in their last possession, and that ended in a turnover. It's about maintaining possession of that ball, even if they leave the goal cage open. If you're BC, in my opinion, you hold that ball. Shot clock is off, as there's only 58 seconds left remaining in this game.
Let's get it up and out. Right there, hold it, looks good, keep it together. Ready?
Madison Taylor wins the draw for Northwestern. And Northwestern takes a timeout. 51 seconds to play. Wildcats with the ball and an opportunity to tie this game at 14. After BC took the lead early in this fourth quarter, Izzy Scane, the sport's all-time leading scorer, has scored the last 4 goals. She has been so clutch down the stretch.
Absolutely explosive, answering the bell, turning the corner, and exploding to the shooting angle she likes to take, burying the rock.
This is what all championship games should be, and it didn't look like that was going to happen. BC went down 6-0 in the first quarter. Northwestern completely dominated. This has been a game of momentum shifts back and back. BC didn't take the first lead of this game until 9 minutes and 39 seconds in the fourth quarter. And just when it looked like Boston College was gonna run away with it, Izzy Scane stepped in and scored the 3 goals for Northwestern in this fourth quarter.
Is this as simple as give the ball to Izzy Scane and clear out?
I would imagine they try to set up some sort of pick play on the elbow to create a mismatch and get maybe a midfielder on Scane or a different matchup, and then clear out and give her the lane to go.
The great news for Northwestern is they've got so many dominant offensive weapons. I think when Izzy Scane, Madison Taylor, or Aaron Kuykendall have the ball, you're going to get the defense to really have to adjust. We've seen Aaron Kuykendall draw those 8-meter free positions all day long too. You want to try to avoid getting into 3 seconds or a shooting space, but just play good, solid defense.
Scane all smiles with the ball in her stick. All the practicing, the time, the energy, the effort, all leading to this moment in a national championship game. 1-goal game, buckle up. Here we go. Madison Taylor, the sophomore, trying to shake free. Good defense by Baker. Kuykendall trying to spin her way free and draws the foul.
Putting Aaron Kuykendall, number 2 in white, on the 8-meter. Watch as the defensive pressure coming at her. They almost had her as she's backing up, and it's just the stick in the back behind that extension of the arms and pressure.
Kuykendall with a chance to tie it at 14. Passes it off, Dylan Amonte! Missed it! Northwestern has the backup. 20 seconds to play. Feed inside, a good look by Frank. Comes up empty. 10 seconds remaining. Boston College trying to hold on. Here's Izzy Scane. Off to Kuykendall. 3 seconds left. Passes it away. Boston College wins.
And our final score, Boston College 14, Northwestern 13.
A year ago, BC lost to Northwestern 18-6. They fell down by 6 today. Battled back and comeback complete. Boston College, national champions for the second time in program history.